Hi, I'm Cassidy, and today I'll be guiding you through a 30-minute lower body flow, specifically focusing on opening up the hamstrings and the hips. And this yoga practice is for all levels. We'll be keeping things pretty slow and really stretchy today, so I hope you'll enjoy. Lots of us are constantly holding tons of tension and tightness in these areas of the lower body, and I hope this yoga practice allows you to open up and move with more ease. Feel free to make modifications and move at your own pace if anything isn't feeling great in your body. After all, this is your yoga practice. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel for free yoga classes every week. And let's get started with today's practice. We're going to begin in reclined bound angle, so bring the soles of the feet together, coming into that butterfly shape, and then just lay all the way back. Just gently allowing the hips to open up right away. And an option here is if you want to place yoga blocks or pillows under the knees for a little bit more support, that's a great option, and I'd encourage you to do that. Otherwise, just close the eyes, settle in. Hands can be down by the sides, or maybe you bring one to the heart and one to the belly. And just find stillness for a little bit. Come into this space on your mat and let go of distractions, anything holding you back from being fully present here, just for the next 30 minutes together. These 30 minutes are for you, so give yourself permission to let go of all of the thoughts and distractions holding you back, all of the busyness of everyday life, and just be fully here, focusing on yourself and your yoga practice. Perform a little body scan here, starting at the top of the head, working all the way down and just checking in, consciously releasing tension as you go, letting every single part of the body settle deeper into the yoga mat and release a little more. If you don't already, bring a hand over the belly. We're going to spend some time setting up our breath here. So wherever you're at in your breath cycle, just begin to notice the breath. Notice the natural rhythm of your breath that you brought onto your yoga mat with you today. And maybe you start to notice that it's choppy or uneven. And we'll work together to deepen up the breath and find an even rhythm for the breath. So take an inhale through the nose, feel the belly expand and rise. Hold that breath at the top. And exhale, slowly release back through the nose, holding at the bottom. And we'll find a counted or box breath to set up this rhythm today. So take an inhale for 1, 2, 3. Hold at the top for 1, 2, 3. Exhale back through the nose for 3, 2, 1. And hold at the bottom. 3, 2, 1. Let's find a couple more like that. Inhale for 1, 2, 3. Hold at the top. And exhale for 3, 2, 1. And find this technique on your own. Maybe you want to extend to maybe 4 or 5 counts. Just using this to create a cadence for your breath and setting up a rhythm that you can bring with you throughout the rest of our practice today. And if at any point you feel like this rhythm and this breath is slipping away from you, just return, take a moment, and come back. Come back to the foundation of our yoga practice, our pranayama, our breath. Good. Just noticing the rise and fall of the belly with every inhale and every exhale. With every exhale, just allowing yourself to settle in a little bit deeper. We'll find just one more breath in stillness. So finish up with your last inhale and your last exhale. Just gently use the hands to guide the knees together. And just allow the knees to fall side to side, windshield wipering back and forth. Starting to just loosen up and release some tension in the hips. And then just plant both feet on the mat. Knees are pointed up towards the sky. We're going to find reclined pigeon or figure 4 stretch. So we're going to bring the right foot over the left knee and then reach through, grab onto the left leg, the left thigh, or behind the knee, and pull the legs in towards the body. Just feeling that opening through the legs, settling in. Option to extend that top leg and straighten it out if you'd like. Take one more inhale in your reclined pigeon. Good. Exhale, just release, unwind. Bring both feet back to the yoga mat. Maybe you windshield wiper the knees from side to side once more. We're going to find our reclined pigeon on the other side. So right foot stays planted. And bring the left foot over the right knee, reaching through and hugging the right leg in towards the body. Just noticing here, noticing the expansion and the opening of the lower body. Notice your breath, making sure we're sticking with that breath as we start to find movement. Take one more inhale. And exhale, just release, unwind the legs, maybe windshield wipering them back and forth a few more times. And we're going to hug the knees into the chest, finding a gentle rock back and forth, eventually making your way all the way to a seated position. And then just find tabletop. So working your way from a seat into tabletop, taking your time to get onto all fours. And checking in, shoulders are right above the wrists, hips are right above the knees. We have a flat line all the way through the back. With your next inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, round the spine, look to the belly button, press the ground away from you. Inhale, drop the belly, look up, cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, look to the belly button for cat. And close your eyes, travel through some cat-cows, letting your own breath carry you through this. You can find other movements as well. Maybe you want to circle out the hips or just find whatever the body is asking you for. And you'll find that a lot of my yoga classes begin with cat-cow. Cat-cows are a great warm-up. They're a great way to just wake up the body and get moving through the spine. And also just a chance to link the breath to the movement and listen to your body to find some intuitive movement, to understand what your body is asking you for today. So take one more round of cat-cow, one more round of breath. And as you finish up, just return to that neutral tabletop. From here, we're going to bring the right leg straight out to the side, planting that foot on the ground, and then just begin to swivel the hips around. And you can really take any kind of movement here. Just starting to stretch out that hip and stretch out the leg. Maybe there's a spot that feels really good and you just want to stay there and take a deep breath. Good, one more inhale. And on our exhale, we're going to take the right leg and cross it behind us over the left and press into the toes. So we're just stretching out the calf here. Maybe you find a bit of a rock back and forth. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come back to tabletop. And we'll find those stretches on the other side. So extend the left leg straight out to the side. Foot is planted onto the ground, and begin to take some movements. Swiveling out the hips, you can make little figure eights. You can walk the hands around and see where different points of stretching feel good in the body. Somewhere's feeling really nice, stay there, take a deep breath. Take one more inhale. And on your exhale, cross the left leg behind you, over that right foot and right leg, and just press the toes into the mat, maybe rocking back and forth, just stretching out the left calf here. And remember to breathe. Take one more inhale. Exhale, just come back to tabletop. Maybe you find a couple more rounds of cat-cow or some movement. Or simply just connect to the breath. And just return to your neutral tabletop. We're going to tuck the toes, press the hips up and back, and come into downward facing dog. And as soon as you get here, begin to pedal out the feet. So just bending into one knee at a time. Stretching out the legs. Just let this feel nice. Good. And just return to your still downward facing dog. And let's check in with our alignment here. And remember, if downward facing dog isn't feeling good for you, you can always modify. You can take tabletop instead, or just do something that feels good in your body. So in our downward facing dog, make sure you're pressing through the fingertips. You should have 20 points of contact with the mat. 10 are through the fingertips and 10 are through the backs of the knuckles. So we're really trying to take some of the stress off of the wrists here. Press the heels down towards the mat, lift the tailbone up. Ears should be right in between the biceps, and then spin the triceps forward. Good. So every time we come back to downward facing dog, just checking in with your alignment, and also check in with your breath, making sure you're maintaining that nice rhythm. With your next inhale, reach the right leg up, finding three-legged dog. And in our three-legged dog, hips stay square to the mat. But this time we're going to bend the knee, stack the hips, and open up. And you can take some knee or ankle circles here, just opening up however it's feeling good for you. And then with your next inhale, straighten out the leg and square the hips to the mat. Take a big inhale. Exhale, step the right leg in between the hands at the top of the mat, coming into low lunge. Good. Chest is lifted above that front knee. Shoulders are dropped away from the ears, building up a little bit of heat in the legs. Take an inhale. Exhale, we're going to release the back knee to the mat and inhale to sweep the arms up for Crescent Moon. Shoulders are relaxed. Fingertips are pulling up to the sky. Good. Just beginning to stretch into the hips here. Making sure not to extend that front knee over the front ankle. But if you're looking for a little bit more of a stretch, maybe you want to widen the stance and bring that front foot a little farther forward. Good. Take one more inhale in your Crescent Moon. Exhale, plant the hands to the mat and shift the hips back. So we're coming into half splits. Flex that front foot. And maybe you begin to walk the hands forward here, deepening up that stretch a little bit. And inhale, sweep the arms up as you return to your Crescent Moon. And we're going to find a flow back and forth between our Crescent Moon and our half splits. So we're in our Crescent Moon right now. Take an inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, shift the hips back, and flex the front foot. Half splits. Good. Inhale, come back forward and reach the arms up, Crescent Moon. Exhale, plant the hands, shift the hips back. Half splits. Good. So flow through this using your own breath, with every inhale coming back to Crescent Moon and every exhale coming back into half splits. And you can reach the arms up in your Crescent Moon each time, or they can just stay on the mat, supporting you as you flow back and forth. Or maybe you place the hands on supports like yoga blocks as you flow back and forth between your Crescent Moon and your half splits. So let's take one more together. Inhale for Crescent Moon, reach the arms up. Exhale, plant the hands, shift the hips back, half splits, and maybe you feel that you can get a little deeper into this stretch each time. Good, inhale, just shift back forward, back to Crescent Moon, reach the arms up. Good, you can either stay right here or option to reach around and grab the back foot. So we're taking the right hand and grabbing onto the left foot. Good, take one more inhale if that's what you're taking here. And then exhale. Inhale to just reach the arms back up, Crescent Moon. Good, plant the hands to the mat and pop the back knee up, coming back into our low lunge. From here, we'll step the front foot to meet the back foot for plank. Option to drop the knees. And then move straight back into your downward facing dog. And if Vinyasa flows are in your practice, you can totally take a Vinyasa flow here if it's calling to you. And we'll just meet back in downward facing dog together. And use this time to check in with alignment and reconnect to the breath. We'll be finding that sequence once more on the other side, moving through it a little quicker now that you know all of the postures involved. So maybe you're pedaling out the feet here, just begin to find stillness. Inhale, reach the left leg up for three-legged dog. We're going to bend the knees, stack the hips, open up, maybe taking some knee or ankle circles at the top. Finding any movement that feels good here, opening up through that left leg. And with your next inhale, just straighten out that left leg, square the hips to the mat. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands, low lunge. Lifting through the chest, nice and strong here. Inhale. Exhale, release the back knee to the mat and inhale to sweep the arms up for Crescent Moon. Relax the shoulders. Take a big inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, shift the hips back, and flex the front foot for half splits. Good. Inhale, shift your weight back forward as you reach the arms up for Crescent Moon. And exhale, plant the hands, shift back for half splits. And you know where we're going here. So just find your own pace using the breath. Every inhale, Crescent Moon. And every exhale, half splits. And we'll flow through a few rounds. Maybe you even close the eyes. Just really let this movement be intuitive. Getting into that flow state where we're using the breath and finding almost a moving meditation here. We'll take one more round together. Inhale for Crescent Moon, reach the arms up. Exhale, plant the hands, shift the hips back, half splits. Inhale, shift that weight back forward. Option to reach the arms up, Crescent Moon. Or reach around and grab that back foot. Left hand grabs the right foot and pulls it into the body to stretch it out. Take an inhale if that's where you're at. And exhale to return. We'll plant our hands to the mat and just pop that back knee up, returning to low lunge. Take an inhale. Exhale, step the front foot to meet the back foot for high plank pose. Option to flow through a Vinyasa if it's in your practice, or just shift the hips back, downward facing dog. And once you get into your downward facing dog, just pedal out the feet. Find some movement. And take your time if you're flowing through your Vinyasa to just meet us back here. Good. We'll take a deep breath together. So inhale through the nose, fill up. Open the mouth, sigh it out, let it all go. Good. Inhale, reach the right leg up for three-legged dog. And exhale, bring the right knee to the right elbow, and then set that foot down in front of you. We're coming into Pigeon Pose. So that right calf is not necessarily parallel to the top of the mat, but as close as you can get it to that point. And take a look back. That left leg is extended long behind us, and the top of the foot is directly on the mat. So we're not rolling or doing anything weird with the hips. Everything is nice and aligned here. Take an inhale and puff up the chest. And on your exhale, slowly begin to fold over. Good, settling into your pigeon pose. And you can find somewhere comfortable for the forehead to rest here. We'll be here for a little bit, so maybe that's a pillow or just onto your hands or forearms. Just settle in and get comfortable here. If this pose is really not feeling great in your body, that is okay, and this pose can be a really intense hip stretch. So if it's not feeling good, feel free to return to that reclined pigeon figure 4 stretch we did at the beginning of our practice when we were lying down on our backs. Otherwise, just holding in your pigeon pose. And pigeon, like I said, is a really deep hip opener that sometimes brings up a lot of frustration and distractions. So if those come up, just try to bring the mind back to this space and know that in doing this pose and pushing beyond your comfort zone, pushing right to that edge, you're finding growth and you're exploring your potential and you're only getting better. So if frustrations come up, just acknowledge them and then just let them go. We'll take one more breath in our pigeon pose. And then slowly begin to rise up, coming back just into our pigeon pose, and then working your way into downward facing dog. And you can take whatever path there that you want to. You can come back through three-legged dog, or really any way that you want to travel and meet me back in down dog is totally fine. You might want to shake out that top leg, get some circulation back into the legs, get the body moving. And as you're ready, just return back to stillness in your downward facing dog. Take an inhale, reach the left leg up, three-legged dog, hips stay square to the mat. Good. Exhale, bring the left knee to the left elbow, and then setting that leg down in front of you, setting up for our pigeon pose on the other side. Good. Take an inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, slowly beginning to bow down, folding over that front leg. And just letting go, allowing yourself to settle in and get comfortable in this kind of uncomfortable position as much as you can. And how do we do that? We do that by coming back to the breath. Focusing on the breath is a really great mindfulness tool to just keep the mind focused on that one thing only, the breath. So just noticing your inhales and noticing your exhales. Maybe you're just noticing the sensations in the body without judgment or without frustration. Just noticing what's going on in the body. Maybe this side feels a little different than the other side. Good. We'll take a couple more breaths. Just let go, bring the mind back into this space if it starts to wander. And just slowly begin to rise up onto the fingertips and work your way back to downward facing dog, however you want to get there. Maybe that's through three-legged dog or a different path. Take any final movements you need. You're welcome to pedal out the feet one last time in downward facing dog. And then just return to stillness in your down dog. Take one last inhale. Exhale, just release the knees to the mat to find tabletop. And then we'll just come into a seated position. And finding a couple seated stretches here. So first we're going to find fire log. So from our cross-legged seated position, we're going to bring the right shin directly over the left shin, or as close to that as we can get today. So stacking the shins on top of each other, creating those parallel lines. Take an inhale. And you might be feeling this stretch pretty intensely already, and that is okay. And on your exhale, maybe you begin to walk the hands forward and fold over the legs. That's totally optional. Maybe you just stay right here and sit up tall. This is kind of a deceptively intense stretch. It doesn't look like we're doing much in the body, but it's a really great stretch for the legs and pretty intense actually. So take one more deep breath in your fire log pose. Inhale and exhale. And slowly rise back up if you are folded over the legs. Bring both legs long in front of you and just shake them out. And we'll move on to fire log on the other side, just balancing out the body. So this time we're going to stack the left shin directly over the right, creating those parallel lines. Take an inhale, lift up, sit up tall through the crown of the head, puff up the chest. An option to stay right here, or with your exhale, begin to walk the hands forward and fold over the legs. And we'll find 3 breaths here. Once again, just allowing yourself to settle into this uncomfortable space. Being mindful of the breath and the present moment and what's going on in your body. Take one final breath. Slowly raise all the way back up. Bring both legs long in front of you and shake it out. From here, from our seated position with the legs out in front of us, just spread the legs a little farther apart. Take an inhale and reach the arms up. Exhale, begin to fold in between the legs, coming into just a wide seated forward fold. And you can keep the knees a little bent here. Good. Take one big breath. With your inhale, slowly begin to just rise back up. Good. Bring the legs together. Take an inhale and reach for the toes. Exhale, just slowly roll back until you're lying down. Once you get there, you can hug the knees into the chest. Take some rocks from side to side or back and forth. And from here, just plant both feet on the mat. The knees point up towards the ceiling or the sky. And keep the left foot planted on the mat. We're going to grab onto the right shin and just pull the leg directly towards us, right towards our face. And you can just do this with grabbing onto the leg with your hands. Option to extend that left leg long in front of you or keep it bent. Also an option to do this with a yoga strap or something similar. So if you have a scarf or a belt or really anything like that, you can use that to loop around the right leg to stretch it out. So take one more inhale. Exhale, bring that foot back down. We're going to switch sides. Right foot plants on the mat. Good. Grab onto the left shin and pull it close to the body. Just one final stretch of the legs. Maybe you're using a strap or some other prop to support you and just be an extension of your arms here. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release, and we're just going to hug both knees into the chest. Good. From here, leave the right knee hugged into the chest and extend the left leg long. And just give yourself a moment to circle out the knee and the hip. And we'll switch sides, hug the left knee in and extend the right leg long. And just use the hands to circle out the knee and the hip. And hug both knees into the chest. From here, grab onto the soles of the feet. And we'll come into happy baby. So knees are coming into the armpits. You can rock side to side. You can straighten one leg and then the other. Good. And then as you're ready, just releasing into your final resting pose of Shavasana. Option to come back to that reclined bound angle that we started in for Shavasana, or just find traditional Shavasana, just lying here on your back. Close the eyes and allow yourself to just completely release into this stillness and calm, letting go of distractions for just a little bit longer. Just being here, soaking up all of the beautiful energy we cultivated together in our practice today. And as you're ready, bring some awareness back to the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes, rolling out the ankles and the wrists, rocking the head from side to side. With your next inhale, take a big full body stretch, arch the back, point the toes, and then roll onto either side using your arm as a pillow. From here, just make your way into a comfortable seated position, leaving the eyes closed, and gather the hands at heart center. Thank you for being here, and thank you for showing up on your yoga mat today, and thank yourself for that as well. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you for your support so I can continue to bring free yoga to you at home. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste.